Hello everyone, sorry there was a little bit technical problems. I'm not very good in doing this kind of things, and I'm trying to do live hi on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, so I'm kind of looking to both cameras. Okay, so if I keep moving is because I'm doing the live on both cameras at the same time, because I don't know what to stream at the same time. I'm still a learner here. Okay, um, so how is everyone? Hi. Any questions, please type a message, and then I'll try to control my time a little bit better, and I will answer all the questions in the end. Okay, so the topic for this week is what's the difference between microblading and blading shade. Okay, it's a very big topic. It's a very big topic, and obviously microblading is a boom market. Everyone kind of knows what is microblading, but sometimes when people book microblading, they don't know exactly if they are suitable to have microblading. They just book microblading sometimes because it's very trendy, and if you Google microblading, is one of the first words that comes up. So it used to be permanent makeup, micropigmentation, but now microblading is definitely the boom of the market. So people sometimes they book microblading without even knowing if they are suitable to have microblading, what is microblading, and what other techniques they could have, and what's the difference between microblading and other techniques. So I've spoke about this, but I'm just going to recap a little bit. I spoke about the skin, and the skin is actually very important to determine which technique we're going to use on that specific client. Okay, so if you are a client and if you are watching this live, it's very important to take care of your skin before you decide to do any micropigmentation, any permanent makeup. Okay, if you are a practitioner, I do recommend, so all my friends text that they are watching, and all my trainees and Eva as well, we do this at Free Makeup on a daily basis. Everyone that comes for micropigmentation, regarding microblading, permanent makeup with a digital machine, doesn't matter, we always do a consultation. And that consultation is to do a patch test. Obviously, we need to patch test the material that we're going to use on that specific skin, but also to make sure that that skin is ready to have microblading, or if that skin is not suitable at all for microblading. So it is very important when you are looking for this kind of techniques that you make sure that you go for a good clinic, a good practitioner, do your research. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend anyone else apart from Dream Makeup just now, but obviously there is a lot of text in the market, and if you are in a different part of the country, or if you are in a different country, I work in two countries between Portugal and UK. So if you are in a different place, I can always try to guide you where you should go, and someone that I can trust. Anyway, if you are here in Scotland, obviously I would recommend to go to Remakeup. We always do a consultation, and that consultation we look to your skin, and we're going to help you to decide what is the best treatment for you. Okay, and that comes a difference, because sometimes people, when they book the consultation, they come with a specific idea, and they want microblading, or they want just a shading, or because their cousin or their friend, they had something specific, they want exactly the same thing. This is not a copy paste. Okay, so we don't copy the same shape. It's not like we do the same shape for everyone. It's not like that. We draw the eyebrow accordingly with your face structure, and we do the technique accordingly with your skin type. So it's not that we do everything the same for everyone. It doesn't work like that at all. So if you have something in your mind, and if you really want microblading, I'm not saying you can't have it, even if you have an oily skin, but we need to obviously prepare your skin, and we need to address those skin problems before we place some microblading. Otherwise, the microblading will melt. Okay, so I spoke a lot about skin, the previous lives that I had, and I think it is very important, because Again, people, they don't know exactly if they are suitable to have something more specific, and they want to have microblading for all cost, and they don't know what is microblading, and they don't know if the skin is suitable to have microblading. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi. I'm just gonna, again, just recap which is the best skin for each procedure, and then I'm going to explain what is each procedure as well. So if you have an oily skin, it's like 70-80%, I would say you're not suitable for microblading. Okay, why is that? Hello, Carolina. Why is that? The microblading is something that we create a very, very fine hair stroke, and we use a manual tool. So to do that, we need to have that skin in a perfect condition. Otherwise, our work, it doesn't look very nice and very neat. It will look very soft and it will just melt completely. When we have an oily skin, either we balance that skin in a normal stage that we can place our crisp hair strokes and stays there, or we need to address with a different technique, which what we call the shading or the blade and shade. Okay, although people, they don't know exactly what is blade and shade, probably. I'm not sure. Some of my friends that they are micropigmentation artists, they probably will know, obviously. But some of our clients, they don't know what is blade and shade, and the name is kind of scary because it says blade. But blade means that is a microblading technique and then a shading. So that technique is amazing for people that have oily skin and they want to have a natural look. So a natural look, we can give it with a microblading. So we place the microblading in total, and then we shade in between. And that shading in between is going to help to, if the hair strokes melt a little bit to that oiliness, we can always have some color there as well. So we don't lose completely the microblading. So we can see the microblading. Hi. We can see the microblading, but we can also see a little bit more the shading in between. So if the hair strokes are starting to melt to that oiliness, that greasiness we can see in that skin, we can always keep something there by having that shading. But we don't lose completely the hair strokes because, again, we have a combination of the two techniques. Okay, does it make sense? Is that clear? Do you guys have any questions so far? What is blade and shade? If you have any questions, just type it and I will try to see it and then I will answer. Okay? So again, if you have an oily skin, we need to address that skin, obviously, even just to have a more healthy skin, but also to have a better procedure, better outcome with our procedure, even choosing the bleeding shade. So if we have a very oily skin, microblading is not a very good procedure for you, but we can also have the bleeding shade, which is a different technique, which we will combine the two. Okay? Does that make sense? If when we do the consultation and everything is lovely, everything is nice, and the skin is lovely, it's like, why not? We can do a microblading with not a problem. That is another question. Even when we decide to do the microblading, there is a lot of things that are normally taken in consideration. First of all, I like to ask my client what kind of makeup they use on a daily basis. If the microblading is something that she would really want, and why is that microblading something she really wants? Why do I make that kind of questions? Because although she has a lovely skin and a very suitable skin for microblading, I need to take in consideration that if she wears a lot of makeup, if she wears a lot of heavy makeup, the microblading probably is not enough. Okay, and that we take it with our experience as well. We have a lot of clients, they used to love microblading, just having microblading, and then sometimes when they come back for the second session, they come back for the follow-ups, the year follow-up, they say, oh, I'll just add a little bit makeup and that's me. And I feel like, well, if you add makeup, that defeats the purpose, because the idea of having the microblading or the micropigmentation with the digital machine is to avoid that time in the morning to make our life easier, isn't it? So if you still add some makeup, maybe we should add some shading. And like that, we can avoid having the makeup on a daily basis. Okay? So, although sometimes the clients, they are completely decided, microblading is my thing, I really love microblading, when I see it, I love it. Sometimes it's not just what they see, because sometimes they can't visualize, they can't picture themselves with microblading, and they think, oh yeah, that's what I want, but then actually it's not exactly what they want. They want something natural but visible. So blade shade, it can give you the microblading, but with a little bit shading in between as well. I'm not trying to push to any direction, obviously. I like to explain like this to my clients, and I like them to give them the choice to choose. And normally when we do microblading, we can always add the shading for in an extra session. So either on the second session or when they come back for a 6 months follow-up or a year follow-up. Okay, I have a question here. If the client was determined to have her brows but still had an oily or dry skin, would you use machine? If client was determined to have brows but still had an oily or dry, to do the shading, you mean? I always use the machine to do the shading, always. When I do my courses, my microblading courses, I teach how to do the shading with the hand tool, just because my techniques, they don't purchase the machine. Okay, yeah, to do the shading, yes. So I'm going to show you what I use. So I use this, which is the tool to do. I use Fibrows because the blades are amazing, very, very fine. I love them. And in this tool, we have the blade and the shade. So that's why I use this for my training courses. I do have other courses coming on, and I have one just for shading using the digital machine. I'm trying to open this and I can't. I'm going to use, I'm going to use an extra here. I'm going to show you what I have. So I use this tool, okay? And this tool, we have the microblading. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay. And then we also have the shading on the same handpiece. Okay. This shading is minimum. Why don't I use this one for my normal procedures in the clinic? Because it takes ages to do it, because it's so tiny. It takes ages. And I think it causes more trauma to the skin because it works like a stamp. So we need to stamp the skin. So we use the microblading to draw our hair strokes. And this is like a makeup brush. It's beautiful. It makes it such a fine, delicate hair strokes, really, really nice. But then the shading, I find the shading quite traumatic using the hand tool because I need to stamp the skin. So personally, and this is my personal preference, obviously, everyone can have it their own, but for me, I use my digital machine, okay? And I use a 1 micro needle, which is a very fine needle, but I use a different technique. I use more the pendulum. So I do a tiny, tiny scratch on the skin. I don't stamp the skin. So I think it causes less trauma. So we have a better reaction, a better outcome, and obviously a better healing as well. So we don't cause so much trauma to the skin. So this is something that I use. So this is my machine that I have it here set it up because I've been practicing a different pattern for hair strokes. which I'm going to show you in the future. Something fluffy and very, very nice. And I use my digital machine. That's the way that I like to do, and that's the way that I do. And that's the one I have like a workshop to train how to use the digital machine to do the shading. So I do a combination of techniques, okay? Someone is asking, does this work for alopecia? Absolutely. So I don't know if you guys know anything about Free Makeup. We are a social enterprise and we work a lot with the alopecia clients and cancer patients as well. So if you have alopecia and you've obviously been diagnosed by your consultant, we need to have that later, and you can have your procedures in a minimum cost. Just send me an email or a text and I'll go through that procedure with you. But we do the microblading, and normally I like to combine with a little bit shading, because the shading also gives the 3D effect, so it gives more fullness, so you can see again, like I said, you don't lose the hair strokes, but you can add the shading to give more that fullness, that 3D effect that I love to see on eyebrows. So we do use a lot of blend shade for clients, definitely. If you see my gallery on Instagram, you're going to see a lot of our patients, they have alopecia, and you can see the before and afters, and you can see the what we can create for alopecia clients. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so again, if you have an oily skin, this is what I would recommend. A lot of people, they have an oily skin and they don't even take care of their skin, so it is very important to take care of your skin. I've been doing a lot of facial consultation, online consultations for facial and skin. It is important now that we are in home. Don't completely forget your skin. Always take care of your skin. And if you have an oily skin, now it's time to do something a little bit more aggressive to make your skin maybe peel a little bit more and just makes everything softer. And if you are thinking in the close future to have something with permanent makeup, with microblading, with any technique that you have in your mind, definitely this is the time to do something for your skin, and it kind of prepares your skin for something that you would like to do. Okay, so this is what we use for the microblading and the shading. So we use this hand tool. We have this one. This is a disposable one. We also use the ones that we can obviously sterilize, and the blade, obviously it's single use. We bend the blade and we use that one. Again, it's a very, very, very fine hair stroke, so we create with a hand tool. It's lovely. It mimics the natural hair strokes, so it's difficult to believe that's not your real eyebrow. That's what it is. It's really, really nice. I am a technician, a micropigmentation technician for years and years and years, and I used to do only the digital machine. And then 4 years ago, I've decided to train to do microblading, and I fell in love with microblading because it's such a fine hair strokes. In my opinion, you can't create those fine hair strokes with a digital machine. But again, that's my personal preference. Everyone is different. I see a lot of technicians with a lot of amazing hair strokes when they do it with a digital machine. I'm not saying that, it's better or worse. It's just my personal preference. I love to see the microblading, the hair strokes done by microblading. That's the technique that I use. That's a technique that I teach as well. I teach using the microblading because I don't think that the hair strokes, when they are healed with a digital machine, they can look lovely when they are fresh, but they won't stay like that. And that's, again, my personal opinion. Okay, I don't want to offend anyone. Everyone has a different opinion, and that's absolutely fine. And our clients, they need to do their research, and they're going to need to obviously trust in someone they feel, okay, that's what I like. I like your work and I like to do it with you. And that's it. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone, I'm worse than anyone. Everyone has a different technique. This is my technique. I use a microblading, and I like to teach the combination between the microblading and the shading with the digital machine. Okay, so I'm just going to show here a photo that I have on my phone, and that photo is actually to show the different techniques: the microblading, the shading, and the blading shade. Okay, I also do the shading, just the shading, like the ombre effect. I don't do a lot, to be honest. Probably the most common procedure that we do at Tree Makeup will be the blading shade just now. I think it used to be only microblading, because microblading was, everyone loves microblading. With our experience, as I said, there is a lot of clients, they were coming and they were thinking, I would love to have something else, because I still pencil my eyebrows a little bit, I still tweak a little bit here, I still tweak a little bit there. And we start to think, okay, we need to address this in a different way. And we start to think, what should we do? And then I start to use a technique that I saw with Tina Davis. Tina Davis, I use her pigments as well, and I love them. And these fluffy eyebrows I'm loving with her as well, which is really nice. And Tina Davis, she combines the microblading and the shading as well. So that's something, the blading shade, it came from her. She uses a manual tool as well to do the shading. Again, I try that, and I do teach how to use the manual tool, because if you can't afford just now, because you are starting your courses, if you are starting to work with permanent makeup, why not? You can do the shading with the manual tool. You're going to take a little bit more time. You're going to probably cause a little more trauma, so you need to be more soft, but it's possible. Okay? So I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible. My personal preference, it will goes to the machine. Okay? And so I have on my microblading courses, I teach how to do microblading and shading, but I also have a workshop that I'm creating just now just for the shading, and that's going to teach how to do with the machine and more the pendulum. In that we can create the ombre eyebrows, you can create the blading shade using the digital machine, and then you can progress to do eyeliners and lips and things like that. So that will give you the starting of the journey to other treatments as well that we can offer in the future. So that's the way that I do, and that's the way that I recommend. Again, everyone is different, everyone has a different opinion. So I'm going to show you this photo that I posted on Facebook, on Instagram yesterday, and I'm going to post it again after this live, so everyone can see and everyone can understand a little bit more what is the difference between the shading, the microblading, and the blading shade. Okay, so that's the photo. I don't know if you guys can see it here. I'm just going to show to this camera, just a second. Okay. Okay. So microblading, yeah, all beautiful, aren't they? So nice. So microblading, again, you can see more the structure of the hair stroke. Shading, you have a lovely eyebrow, but just gives more an ombre effect. And the blading shade, that's when we combine the two techniques. So this blading shade that you see here was actually, I've made this blading shade actually to cover a scar. So this is a patient that she has a scar on her eyebrow. And I've placed a couple of hair strokes, and then I was shading a little bit just to camouflage more that scar and to give that 3D effect, that fullness that you can create having the shading. Okay, so again, that's one of the things that I love about the blading shade, because we can create different things. It's not just the microblading, just the hair strokes, but that's again my personal experience and my personal preference. I'm going to post this photo again so everyone can see it, the difference between the microblading, just the shading, and then the combination of the two. Okay, so having this option to our clients when they are coming for the consultation, we can then address their skin and then show them Okay, so this is what we can do. We can do just a microblading, we can do just a shading, or we can combine the two techniques. And then if the client has a normal skin and if she's willing to treat her skin, we can choose whatever technique she would love to have on her face. The one that she feels, okay, I feel more comfortable to have that one. Okay, or that's exactly what I want. If she has a specific skin, we need to address that skin first. And then obviously just to follow the technique that will be more suitable for that skin. Okay, so oily skin, microblading, 90%, 80%, it's a no. We need to balance the skin first, and then we can then decide between the microblading and other techniques. Oily skin, blading shade, lovely. Okay, even having an oily skin and the client decides to treat their skin, we can always place a few hair strokes and then just shade, like just adding a few hair strokes in the starting of the eyebrow, for example, and then 3/4 of the eyebrow, it's just shading. So it just gives that more defined look, but still not losing the natural complexion here, because when we talk, that's what we can see. So if it's more natural in the front and then just give more a makeup look towards the end, it just looks beautiful, in my opinion. Shading ombre eyebrow for an oily skin, lovely. If you have a dry skin, which is the other point, the other end, the other extreme, microblading is not suitable, but neither the other techniques, because if you have a dry skin, we need to moist the skin. We need to address that skin to make the skin a little bit softer. Because if you're going to place something on top of a dry skin, it's like paper. So the moment that you're going to try to place the color onto the skin, it's just going to flakes off. It just flakes everything off. It doesn't absorb anything. So it is important to address that skin in a point that we need to make the skin a little more soft and just make the layers of the skin a little bit more easier to absorb the ink and keep the ink there instead of flushing everything and just flaking everything off. Does it make sense? Sometimes people, again, either they have an oily skin or a dry skin, so either or, on the consultation we need to address that. Okay. If we have a dry skin and we can address that dryness by using a little more moist towards before the first procedure, we can then choose what technique that she wants. She's suitable for everything. We can use microblading if she wants, if that's the technique that she wants. We can use the blading shade to give more definition, more fullness, to give that 3D effect if she wants more a kind of makeup looking. Or we can use just the shading, which is the ombre effect. So we can choose whatever we want, whatever she wants. Okay, so again, it is important to have a photo and to show the difference between one, the other, and the other, so the client is completely aware of the different techniques, and she can decide, okay, I really like this one. No, that one is too much for me, or no, that one is exactly what I want because that's the kind of makeup that I use on my daily basis. Okay, so it is important to respect what is the makeup that our client uses, so we don't feel like we haven't given enough or we are giving too much. Okay, so we need to establish that contact with the client, establish that mean time with the client, and decide, okay, between you and me, what kind of makeup do you use on a daily basis? What can we do? What can we address to your skin and just make everything even and just everything in proportion? Okay, we don't want to see eyebrows in a mile away. We don't want to do an eyebrow and the client with no makeup at all, we can see the eyebrow. We don't want that. We want something subtle. The permanent makeup, it doesn't avoid the makeup. Okay, the permanent makeup is the base for the makeup on a daily basis. The permanent makeup is for us to wake up in the morning and feel great and feel alive and feel like we have something in our face without looking over makeup looking. And then if you need to add something else, you can always add more makeup. You can always add a little bit more blush. You can always add a little more eyeshadow. You can always add whatever you want to add. But the permanent makeup should never, ever replace the normal makeup. Okay, so that's the way that I tell to my clients as well and my trainees. Always do something, less is best, so always do something gentle. You can always add more. That's why we are here. We can always add. If you're not happy and if you want darker, we can always put darker. If you're not happy, if you want more, we can always add shading. We can always add even more shading. So it's always easier to add than to remove. Okay? It is possible to remove, but it's always nicer to have a client saying, I love them. I just want more. Can I have more? Of course you can. That's why we are here. Instead of having a client, oh my God, I couldn't leave the house for a week. Can't live with this. No one could look to me. I can't look to myself. And that's terrible. Okay? So always less is best. Always, always, always less is best. So I don't know if I answered everyone. I think so. Do you guys have any questions regards to the techniques, the two techniques that we were talking, the three actually, because we talk about ombre, which again is a shading effect, but it's a third option that you can offer to our client as well. So we have the microblading, suitable for pretty much everyone, as long as they don't have a very oily skin. We have the blading shade, suitable for everyone that wants a little bit more. And they want a little bit more fullness, and just the shading, which is more the ombre effect, more the makeup looking. Okay, and that makeup looking is more for people they want to have more a makeup looking to their skin or to their face, because they wear a lot of makeup on a daily basis, and that's the way they like to see themselves. And although doing the ombre, it doesn't need to look too much, because it depends on the colors that we choose as well. So again, I'm just going to put this photo up so you guys can see. Okay. So although we are talking about microblading, blading shade and shading, it doesn't need to look over the top. Okay, we can always do something very gentle, very soft, and just give our clients what they want, instead of giving to our clients what we think is the best for them. So always establish that conversation, always on the consultation, trying to understand what your client wants. And if you are one of my clients, and if you have any questions, because sometimes clients, they trust us and they don't know exactly what they want, so we need to explain very well what's the options and why you're not suitable for that option. So if you have any questions in the back of your mind, you can always ask. If not, I'm going to leave you. Next week, I'm going to talk about these techniques in Portuguese, because I'm doing the lives in Portuguese as well. And then I'm going to talk about lips. And lips, I'm going to do, I don't know if you guys know, but I have it on my Instagram and on my Facebook as well. I have done my lips. Eva, she's done my lips. I haven't done my lips, okay? I'm not that crazy. So Eva, she's done my lips. And I've used a new range of products that I love. And I'm going to talk about them on my next live. And that's from Tina Davis. And I'm just going to show you guys, okay? So you can guys get a little more excited. So I don't know if I can show it here. Let me see if I can show them. Okay. And the name says it all, is I Love Ink. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So the idea is this idea, which I am going to explain on my next live, what it is, how we do it, and what can we achieve doing the permanent makeup for the lip. Okay, so that's my next topic. If you would like to see something more specific, so those are the topics that I have in my mind. Okay, so today was explaining the microblading and the blading shade. the next one, I am going to explain the permanent makeup for the lips. Okay. As you can see, I've done my lips and Eve done my lips, and they look just natural. Okay. Again, micropigmentation should look natural, natural. And then we can always add more makeup on top if we want to, or we can always leave it. And I only have a gloss and just put a gloss, and that's it. So this is going to be our next topic. As I said, next week I'm going to talk in Portuguese. So if there is any Portuguese ladies here, they can always watch next week. If not, I will be here in 2 weeks' time, and I'm going to do the lip topic. And if you have any questions, you can always text me, email me. You know that I'm always available, and I like to keep in touch. And you know that I'm here if you need me for anything. Okay, so for my trainees, I hope this was helpful. And guys, practice, practice, practice. Roshina, I'm going to see your work just now. Okay, I saw that you've posted something, so I'm going to have a look into that. And for everyone else, guys, just stay safe, keep well. I'm sure we're going to go through this very, very quick. And I think it's going to be about a week or 2 or 3, and that's us. So we went through a couple of weeks now, so that's going to fly, I'm sure. Okay, and you guys are going to have my help here to talk about other things, and you don't need to think about what's going on outside. Okay, so take care. I'm going to send a kiss to everyone. Take care, and we keep catching up, and I will see you too soon. Bye. Bye now. Bye now. Bye, my love.